We're just 7 weeks away from the midterms now, so here to tell us everything about them and what to expect, our ABC News political director, Rick Klein, is with us. Rick, first, the big picture. So coming into this election season, there was a sense, red wave, right? You got a lot of inflation, traditional, the incumbent president, he's going to lose some seats, and then all of a sudden, Supreme Court overturned abortion, and now there was this sense of maybe the blue team's going to gain some ground. But now there's a sense, well, no, it'll be red. Anyway, well, how do you read what's going to happen?
Yeah, look, I think we have these two competing forces and these two competing narratives for the whole year. You've got one argument that says, look, this is about inflation, it's about Joe Biden, which means about crime and immigration, a lot of these issues, and it's a referendum on the incumbent president. Or you've got an election that's a choice, and you frame that up as a choice about abortion rights, a choice about the future of democracy, about Donald Trump and what Republicans have meant. We may see both of these waves crash into each other at some weird angles in a lot of races. So it will mean different things in different places. And I think just in the last few days, we've some of these polls that have shown the Democrats pulling ahead in Senate races have begun to tighten. And I think you're seeing voters return home, go back where they were going to be anyway, maybe driven a bit by the news around crime and immigration and the border. They're going back to their team, but there's still a lot of time and a lot up for grabs.
And figuring out the polls is, I want to draw on your expert experience here, because the polls, it seems to me, are almost broken, right? They were off by more in 2020 than they were in 2016. A lot of people aren't answering pollsters. How do you, as our political director, gauge the value of polls? How do you read them in this environment?
Two things. First of all, don't look at any one poll and think, wow, this is everything. Take a look at the trends inside the polls, because when you look at not just one poll, but 5 or 10 polls in a state, you're talking about thousands of people who are contacted, and the polling methods have gotten better. We're starting to adjust something that didn't happen in 2016, a lot of polls, for education level, for instance, to try to realize there are big differences in how someone votes based on what kind of education they've gotten in the past. So there's different things that have done in terms of weighting. Don't live and die by them. They're clearly not going to tell you everything. We do our own polling at ABC. It's top-notch polling. There's good polls and there's bad polls, and there's still going to be mistakes. There's going to be things that are off. That's part of what polling is. Look at the overall trends, and you do see things happening. And look, bottom line is people are going to have to vote in the next couple of weeks, not during a poll now.
And we have to go back to good old-fashioned reporting.
Yes.
Actually
talk to people like Mary Alice just did.
Exactly,
yes.
Exactly. So let me ask you about abortion, the referendum in Kansas, where by almost a 2-to-1 margin in Republican Kansas took the pro-choice side of that, and some of these special elections have come out, people thinking abortion is a driving issue. In response, it seems almost, you've got this these flights up to Martha's Vineyard with migrants that Ron DeSantis has booked in order to try and change the storyline. How do you read the place of abortion in the election? Is it going to be as big as it felt right after Kansas voted?
To be determined. In places, Michigan may be one of them because it's directly on the ballot. You've got a clear choice in the gubernatorial candidates. I think it is going to be a big issue all the way. But people live their lives in complicated ways. A lot of people, it's going to be about inflation. It's going to be about, do they think Biden's doing a good job on crime or what have you. People vote on any number of issues. School choice is another thing that comes in. I think, though, what this did is sort of level the playing field that was going to be uneven for Democrats. Without the Dobbs ruling, we were on a trajectory for the Democrats being in line for an absolute wipeout this year. This underscored the stakes of the election. I've talked to candidates and campaigns that saw the numbers in terms of voter registration, in terms of donor base. This is the dominant message that Democrats are putting on the airwaves. Look at what Republican conservative governance has gotten you. This is what the choice is, state by state. Lindsey Graham putting the issue up as a Senate priority across the board, not met very well in places like Michigan by candidates that want to win in battleground states. So the choice is out there, and it's framed it up almost perfectly for Democrats.
Very quickly, do the Democrats keep the Senate?
On today's facts, they do. I think if the election were today, they squeak this out. I think Pennsylvania still looks good for them. Georgia as a whole, Arizona, and there's even a possibility they pick up a seat or two. Pennsylvania would be the top one there. They've got to keep an eye out west, though. They're increasingly worried about Nevada, maybe even Colorado as coming onto board.
Love the commitment.
I'll give you an answer.
Democrats will keep the Senate, according to Rick Klein. Thanks very much. We'll be right back.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.